Happy New Year, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. My name is Benet, and welcome to the CastABLE podcast, where we focus on what we can do to abolish ableism in the entertainment industry. Today, my guest is actually my co-host, Queen Jennifer Kumiyama, known most by Kumi. Jennifer Kumiyama was born with a disability called arthrogryposis and has used a wheelchair for 100% of her mobility needs since she was 5 years old. She is best known to the world as the chorus girl in Aladdin's A Musical Spectacular that played at Disney's California Adventure theme park for 13 years, where she was the first person in a wheelchair to perform on any Disney stage in the world. She played Carmen in the sessions alongside Helen Hunt and William H. Macy. And she is known in her community as a disability activist who fights tooth and nail for equitable access for people with disabilities in all aspects of life. Now, and most recently, Kumi has stolen the hearts of so many people, including my 10-year-old son, around the world as the voice of Dahlia in Disney's newest animated hit, Wish, celebrating 100 years of the company. It is my honor and my greatest pleasure to introduce the Queen, a mentor, and just a blessing to us all, Jennifer Kumiyama. Hello, my Queen. I'm so excited to do this. I've been wanting to do this to just honor you because you are truly deserving of celebrating and you are worthy of celebrating. And I think the whole entire world just needs to celebrate you.
Thank you so much. I just realized I'm so embarrassed that there's an In-N-Out cup on my dresser.
I love it. It adds character. It adds character. I mean, I love it. You don't need to know. We don't.
In-N-Out. Who, me?
No, never. Never.
Oh,
How
the
are you
joys of
today?
live recording.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to chat with you.
I am so excited to chat with you, and I'm so excited for the world to really get to know who you are on a personal level. You know what I mean? You are all over the place, on stage, on screen, doing the thing, but it's really nice that we get to know who Kumi is and what Kumi stands for and what Kumi believes in, and for you to just shine.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I do have, my first question would be, how does it feel to have accomplished so much in your life living as a person with a disability?
I don't think, here's the thing. I don't think of them as accomplishments. I think of them as like bucket list items, because these are all things that I've really been dying to do my entire life, like be a live performer, be on TV and be on screen. And selfishly, I know that I'm fulfilling my own dreams. But I think that an accomplishment for one in our community is an accomplishment for all in our community. So I don't really, I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I think, especially for us in the beginning who are paving the way and doing the work, you are definitely, yes, it is an accomplishment for you, as it should be an accomplishment for you. But also it is an accomplishment for the community because it shows that it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like it shows
Absolutely.
that it is attainable and that it is possible and that it is not so far from the imagination. Do you know what I mean? That we can do
Absolutely.
this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's absolutely an all-around celebratory event. Do you know what I'm saying? Every accomplishment that you do. And I want to get a little deeper and ask, what does it feel like to be the first of the many successful situations?
Sometimes it's stressful. Being the first means building relationships from the ground up with the people that you're working with. And it also means being the example for the disability community. It's really an honor to be chosen to be so many firsts in a lot of situations. I like to tell people that, as I climb that proverbial ladder, my hand is always extended backwards to bring other people up. And I think that's how um, we should all be treating, things in life that are momentous. Um, so I feel like when one door opens for me, doors open for others in a lot of other areas of in life. Um, but it's a stress that I'm happy to have because it means more opportunity for people like me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And we're all deserving of it. I go ahead. It seems like
Yeah,
you're
I think that's one thing that we forget too. Like, of course, I'm happy to be here, but also we deserve to be here. We earned the right to be here and to take up space, and I'm gonna take up space, and I'm gonna let other
absolutely.
people like me take up space as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's so empowering to take up space and to own your space. And for me as an able-bodied person, and then changing and kind of developing into a disabled person, the one really true honest thing that I had to learn is to remind myself and to build taking up space. And when I finally did that, it was just the most empowering of situations where, I went back to New York City and I was like, okay, I cannot walk at the same speed limit as
New
everybody else
Yorkers.
in
Yeah.
New York, Grand Central to be exact. And I just remember standing there and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to walk my speed limit, and I'm going to take up space, and I'm going to do what needs to be done for me, and I'm going to exist. And it was such an empowering moment where it was like, okay, I am fully here. You know what I mean? There are still
Mhm.
ups and downs, there's still obstacles, but I am here. I am going to take up space. And it is something that I truly wish all of us were able to do and have the what's the word I'm looking for? Support and love and self-esteem to do that, because we do deserve to be here. We do deserve
Absolutely.
to be validated and exist and take up space.
Absolutely. And I think we need to learn how to do it unapologetically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unapologetically being the key word. We
Hmm.
we don't need to apologize to exist.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
love that. I love that. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit because we're gonna go into you being a performer, because you
Mhm.
are a performer at heart. And I want to know, how does the activism inhibit your ability to do both, since there is such a divide between the two?
I think they're actually two things that fit hand in hand. Um, I think being a performer means being brave enough to put yourself in a situation that allows us to be vulnerable because people critique our performances. And I also think that being an activist is the same thing. You put yourself on the front lines to speak about things that you truly believe in to your core. And you're also in a situation where people will judge, what you say. But I think, after Aladdin closed, I was at Disney for 13 years. After Aladdin closed, I um, went through sort of like an identity crisis. I was like, oh my gosh, am I still a singer and a performer if I'm not doing it every day? Because you just get so used to clocking in, doing four shows, clocking out, going home, resting, going in, clocking, doing four shows, and it repeats and it repeats, and you're auditioning and you're in this like hamster wheel of the entertainment industry, just doing the work and trying to get your name out there and booking gigs. And then all of a sudden it stops.
Mhm.
um and I think that's when I truly learned, that time, that whole 6 months that I was uninvolved or unemployed between the time the show closed and I got another job, that I realized that you can be passionate about two things at the same time. um and being a loud voice for my community is definitely my second passion. um but dividing the time between the two um sometimes proves to be difficult, but you always have to make space for what you're passionate about. If you're not doing what you're passionate about in life, then what are you doing? And I feel very fortunate to have lived a life where I'm able to be, like eyebrow, like drenched in either performing or, doing community work. And that's just who I am. But I think I owe it to, my family and my caretakers. Like, I have an amazing team that makes sure that's there to make sure that I'm able to get in and out of bed, to take a shower, to get out the door, to get in transit, and to do what I need to do, to show up halfway through the day, to take me to the restroom because I'm not able to do that on my own, or to feed me lunch because I'm not able to do that on my own. So I have a really great team. Um, and I have a really amazing circle of friends, who support me in the same way, without um, expecting anything but the love and the dedication as a friend and reciprocation. And that to me is beautiful. And I also think that's why we were created differently with different levels of ability, because if we were all able bodied, who would help? Nobody would need help. And I think that disability is such a term that's boxed. A lot of people will think, oh, disability looks like this, or disability means this, when in reality, disability can look like anything. It's such a chameleon term. And even able-bodied people have little things that they can or cannot do, that we still need each other. And I think that, to me, is such a beautiful thing.
I love that. I love that example, because of the fact of the matter that, yes, disabled people help ensure that there's compassion in the world. And yes, there are physical disabilities, but there's also invisible disabilities. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think in turn, it returns the responsibility back to the person to be able to also ask for help. And that's where the community comes in, where you have a community where you can be completely vulnerable, where you can completely, you know what I mean, take pride and ask for what you need and know that that support will be there. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think it's so important to build that community, because, you know what I mean, it really does empower the whole process. It empowers the whole existence of people on this earth. I
Absolutely.
love that. I love all of that.
Thank you.
I have another question. Why is it so
Mm-hmm.
important to you that people with disabilities be included in mainstream media?
Because every child deserves to see themselves in every aspect of media, on TV, on the radio, in print, on social media. Um, it's what keeps it going. And by it is, the inclusion of people with disabilities in all aspects of society. Um, it's important to let children and young people know that the impossible is completely possible, um, and that they have options, in their life of what they want to do, who they want to be, what they want to do in the world. And for me, growing up, it wasn't something that was too prevalent. Like, I knew that there was like Stevie Wonder, who's dope, but I'm not blind. I knew there
Mhm,
was Jerry Jewell on Facts of Life, who had cerebral palsy, and I don't have cerebral palsy.
mhm.
um Even today, there's still this unspoken about thing in in TV and film. It's like, you can be disabled, just don't look too disabled.
Yes.
There's a certain kind of disability that they want on TV, and or that they're only putting on TV, and whether they're doing it consciously or subconsciously, I'm not aware of. But it's just that, it doesn't. Disability is disability. Um, all of it's beautiful, all of it's different, and it deserves to be celebrated.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And it actually, the intersectionality of it all, like, when I was young, I didn't see a lot of people that looked like me.
Mhm.
I didn't have those experiences. And then when I did become disabled, we were moving in the right direction when I was an able-bodied person. And then moving into the disabled community, it was like, okay, you know what I mean? It really brought back those kind of feeling invisible in the beginning. Do you know what I mean? It
Mhm.
really, it was like, okay, I can't identify with anyone. And I know,
Mhm.
as you said, for children to see themselves represented, it verifies and validates in a way, because everybody should verify and validate themselves. But it's very hard for children to do that. So it validates that we belong. Do you know what I mean? And for
Yeah.
children to be able to see, ah, I'm okay.
Mhm.
I'm just as important and I'm okay as anyone else. And I think that, because we all are our inner child as well.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so even as adults, it validates and verifies and amplifies that feeling of belonging
Absolutely.
if we are represented all over. I mean, I
Mhm.
couldn't agree more. I could talk to you all day. I do have one last question for you though.
Mhm.
What positive effects could that possibly have on understanding people with disabilities if they were to be on mainstream media and represented?
Um, well, I mean, number one, employing more people with disabilities. A very large population of the disability community is unemployed, and it's not because they don't want to work. It's hard for us to find work because people don't see us as being reliable employees. And this doesn't just go for media. This goes for every aspect of
Mhm.
employment, whether it's corporate or small business or um, you know big box chain stores. Like, the unemployment rate is so low because people with disabilities aren't seen as an option for a viable employee. And that's really important to me as well. One of the greatest joys in life, even though, I'm so busy and sometimes I get so exhausted, is working. I think I don't know what my life would be if I didn't work. I'm currently the citywide accessibility coordinator for the city of Long Beach, but I I love my job. It's a lot, but I
Mhm.
absolutely love my job to make sure that our civil rights law, the Americans with Disabilities Act Title II, is upheld is a huge honor. Um, and to do it for a city of 500,000 people is even that much more of an honor. Um, but working is, whether we realize it or not, is something that makes us feel needed, and people need to feel needed. I don't care who you are. Um, and that's, one of the effects that it could have on the disability community, other than just inspiring our younger generation. Um, that that for me is one of the biggest things. That's what, with Wish, it was really awesome to see my character Dahlia using a cane to walk. What was even more cool was that her storyline never discussed her disability. Um, and I thought that was so beautiful, because people with disabilities are boxed in. Like, oh, why is she here? There doesn't need to be a reason for a person with a disability to be present, because we exist everywhere, you know. And it was a whole team that brought her to life. Some really great um, uh, women who, work in the disability community, and even uh, people from the animation studios who walk with a cane. Tom, he's just so great. He walks with a cane, and he it was just so awesome for us to have hands on Dahlia and bring her to life, and not have the main focus of her storyline be that she has a disability. Dahlia is known in the movie for being Asha, who's the lead character's best friend,
Mhm.
being known as the town baker, um, and being known as the unofficial leader of their little teen group that, oddly enough, represent the Seven Dwarfs. And I think that's great, you know. Um, and she rocks a cute bob while doing it. Like,
Yes,
I
she
can't be more
does.
proud of being a part of this truly amazing movie, which, by the way, is now available for purchase digitally and will be out
Woohoo.
on DVD in mid March this year. So, um, yeah, this my involvement in Wish was very out of the blue. It wasn't something that I was seeking. I was called to called and asked to audition, and I'm so glad that I did. Um, but yeah, um, I think the biggest takeaway from being a part of Wish and bringing Dahlia to life was that I was literally fulfilling an 8-year-old dream of mine of being, not just a voice for a cartoon, but like a Disney cartoon, and I have merchandise. I'm a doll. I'm a plushie. I'm a Funko Pop. I'm a Lego. Like that to me is like, what?
So amazing. So amazing. I
And I
love
just
it.
want kids to know that, um, it might have taken me so long to get here, but I never let go of the possibilities of what I can do and what I can be. And I also never stopped surrounding myself with people who not only lift me up, but allow me to lift them up as well. And to be a part of their lives, and to make sure that I get to where I'm going, or that I get up and I get dressed and things like that. So I'm just really grateful for this experience overall.
And it couldn't happen to a better person.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
mean, you're just an inspiration to us all. You really,
Thank you.
truly are. And you said something that truly resonated, which was that Dahlia's character did not mention anything about her disability. It was just her. It was just her being present. And I think that that's where we need to stop having to explain what's going on with people. And I think that mainstream media, whether it be, and television, film, theater, we just need to show that we all exist and that it's okay, and that the storyline does not necessarily need to be about anything but the storyline, that we
Absolutely.
are normal people. Do you know what I mean? Everybody is different, everyone is unique, and we need to celebrate those things and also acknowledge that we all are people. And I think that is one of the most important lessons for kids with disabilities as well. You are normal. You are a person that belongs, and it should not always be about what is different. And I think the more we in the mainstream media do that, the better off and the less stigma the stigma, I apologize, the stigma will start to disappear because it won't be so mysterious.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It really won't be so mysterious. And then things will be much more attainable and achievable. And it won't be this, invisible obstacle where it's like, I don't know if I could hire a disabled person. I don't know. You know what I mean? All of
Yeah.
that will just start to be dispelled.
Yeah.
It truly will. And then children will definitely feel like, okay, I am here. I am valid. I am
Mhm.
important. It doesn't necessarily have to be what my story is what happened to me, or,
Mhm.
what I was born with. It's just, "Hi, my name's Benet." And
Yeah.
that's it. "Hi, my name's
Absolutely.
Kumi."
Yeah. Yeah. It's normal to be different. It's completely normal to be different because we're all different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this world truly a magnificent place, you know?
Mhm.
Well, I cannot tell you what just embarking on this journey with you has meant to me and continue to do, and, what you have done for me even in my own journey, and the mentor and the inspiration and just the positive voice that has just kept me going, and just even knowing that I could do it. I mean, ah, I just wanna amplify you and,
Thank
just
you.
tell you how much I love you, because you are just a blessing to so
Thank you,
many.
Queen.
Thank you, queen. Wow. I I mean, you just did so well, I'm kinda speechless.
Oh, you're so funny. Thank you. Well,
I got
I'm
chills.
happy to
I've got
be here,
chills, like
and
literally goosebumps all over. Like I am just like vibrating on such a positive level. I mean, just your
thank
energy and
you.
your presence
Thank
is
you. And I honestly, it's I look forward to talking more about, people like us in the entertainment industry with you on CastABLE, and I'm happy to share the space with you.
absolutely. I'm honored to share the space with you, my queen.
All right. Have a good
Wow.
one.
You too. Thanks for
All right.
joining us.
Thank you.